Hello, everybody. Hey, welcome to the Hurt Locker. Thank you for tuning in. We got a good one. I mean, come on. College football I know, is officially back week 0, just this last weekend, but right now it is literally officially back. Like we are so back. I can't even explain how excited I am watching some of the games today, and what it's going to lead forward into this weekend. I literally cannot wait, man. I gotta wear the Beavs Hawaiian shirt today. Little throwback Oregon State hat today. Got to represent. Big game for them this weekend. We're going to talk some good G5 today. Whew. Man, I just, words cannot explain how excited I am for this weekend and what it's going to entail. Today's already been somewhat of madness. And yeah, man, I mean, we got to dig into this thing here pretty quick. I can't wait to get dug into this. So, again, welcome to the Hurt Locker. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Logan Hertner. Catch the show live on X if you want better quality picture, sound, and chat interaction. Go follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch it there. Shout out Ghost and Friends at 40 Acre Vibes. Let's get into this, man. Hey, thank you all for tuning in. Also, give me a follow on X at the Hurt Locker. You can also, and that'll be at Hurt Locker Show, or you can follow me on my personal account on X, which is at Low Hurt 2. And I'll put those down here on the bottom of the screen here so y'all can see. Because, I mean, that's good. So, right there. Yep, follow and subscribe right there on YouTube. Ghost and Friends at 40 Acre Vibes. Shout out there. And then follow me on X, Hurt Locker Show. I'll pop up on the bottom there for you so y'all can see that. Bang. There we go. And that would be my personal one there. Guys, so a recap, man. Week 0 recap, covering G5. So, some of my picks, I was taking UNLV to be one of those G5 teams coming out and maybe winning the Mountain West. After what we just saw this weekend with a really, really tight game, a really close one with Idaho State, which was really surprising to say the least. And by surprising, I mean the fact that they were a 26.5-point favorite, and it was down to the wire the entire time. I mean, they won this game 38-31 against Idaho State. 26.5-point favorite. Thankfully for me, I didn't take the 26.5 for them to cover. On either side, I looked at the over-under, which was 60.5, and I took the over on that, which ended up being okay. So that was good. Got that pick locked. But yeah, I mean, I want to dig into them a little bit just because it was kind of a crazy game. UNLV struggled heavily, man. I mean, they struggled despite being such a big favorite. 38-31 in a tight one. They couldn't stop the run. The defense was really bad. They were allowing like 6.5 yards per rush. I think 6.4 is what they're actually averaging. And Idaho State looked like they could do whatever they want with it. Besides on the passing attack wise, if it wasn't for the 3 interceptions that UNLV had against them, they would have been in trouble, and I think they actually would have lost this football game. So despite giving up a lot of rushing yards and not being able to stop a nosebleed, they actually came away and still won. Helped them tremendously with those 3 interceptions, because if that wasn't the case, man, they were in some serious trouble. They gave up 395 yards in the air. So those 3 interceptions really, really hurt Idaho State in this one. They had a really good shot, and then they allowed a total of 555 yards of offense total. So not a good look for the UNLV defense that's supposedly supposed to be a top dog in this Mountain West Conference. The offense looked apart. The offense looked like we were all kind of thinking. So they were fantastic. They did exactly what I was envisioning them to look like. 307 rushing yards. They were killing them on the ground consistently, averaging over 7.5 yards per rush. Anthony Calandria was efficient. I think he was 15-21, 195 yards, and a touchdown. And then he also added 13 carries for 93 yards as well. So was rushing it on the ground, so did a great job there. The other one was Alex Orji. Orji coming in, obviously a Wildcat-type quarterback. He came in to perfection, man. 3 of 3, 37 yards passing. He's not the biggest passer in the world. We know this. But then he did his little part on the ground as well, where he actually had 6 carries for 34 yards. So he almost ran for more yards than he did passing. 6 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown. So to perfection, exactly how they drew it up. 38 points is a good first week to put some points on the board, but that defense is definitely concerning. Moving forward, if that's going to continue, it's going to be a pretty long season. They're going to see some teams that are definitely better defensively than Idaho State. They're going to see teams that are better offensively than Idaho State. And the fact that they gave up 555 yards of offense to this team is extremely concerning. All that being said, they got another matchup going on tomorrow with Sam Houston at Sam Houston. The line right now is UNLV minus 9.5. Personally, these are not picks, by the way. These are not locks. These are not picks, that I'm locking in on. These are just what I'm thinking here. Overall thoughts. Minus 9.5 on the road at Sam Houston. They need a big bounce back week, man. It was kind of embarrassing to come out like that against an FCS type team. They need a big bounce back week against Sam Houston. Sam Houston struggled a little bit with Western Kentucky. They showed some little flashes here and there. Their quarterback did a great job. I think he's definitely their guy. He's kind of their all around guy. He did everything in this game. Hunter Watson is his name. Hunter struggled a little bit, went 19 of 30 in the air. And a pick, didn't throw for any touchdowns, but he led the team in rushing. With 91 yards and a touchdown. So like I said, he's kind of the do-all guy. I think he's going to be majority of the reason why this team would even stay in a game. But again, I think UNLV is coming for a big bounce back week here. Dan Mullen's going to have them ready on the road. So I'm looking for them to win by double digits is kind of what I'm thinking. Hopefully they don't show up like they did in the first week, but I think it's going to be a good week for them. My friend Liam Neighbors called out Western Kentucky absolutely torching Sam Houston. Shout out to him for his known as QBU is Western Kentucky. Let's talk about it, man. I mean, Western Kentucky G5 team, got to talk about it a little bit. 41-24, they took the win against Sam Houston. Maverick McIver. Okay, I've never even heard of the guy until this year. Liam was kind of giving me some feedback on him, said, you really got to watch this guy. I think he's going to be good. It's QBU. Sure enough, man. I mean, 33 of 51 for 401 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns and no turnovers. It is not going to get any better than that for your first game of the year from a starting quarterback. The fact they threw 51 times, it's typical Western Kentucky fashion, not running a whole lot, just slinging the pill around the yard. That it was a lot of fun to watch, actually. So we're going to be looking at him for the rest of the season, obviously tracking those stats, because starting off like that is a hell of a start. And I'm sure Western Kentucky's thrilled about what they have there in a quarterback again. So we will be paying close attention to Western Kentucky coming up in the next couple weeks. Another good matchup tomorrow. We got Central Michigan and San Jose State. Now, this is a game, not necessarily one of my picks, but this is a game I want to pay attention to. Central Michigan is kind of a team that's being slept on. I think they're going to be a lot better this year, and I don't really think people know what they're getting into. And by that, I mean San Jose State is now a minus 13.5 favorite at home tomorrow night, Friday night lights for college football. And no Nick Nash at receiver for San Jose State. They do have their returning quarterback. It's gonna be interesting, and they're not running the option. So Walker Egret coming back. He's returning a starting quarterback for San Jose State. Central Michigan's got some transfer guys that are actually coming in that were high prospect guys, some 4 and 3 star guys that are sprinkling in. So it'll be kind of see what they can piece together and see what they do here. First game jitters. I love the line of a minus 13.5 for Central Michigan to cover that, just because double digits is pretty scary, especially in week 1, as we found out with UNLV and Idaho State. So, this is obviously not a 26.5 point, but I do like them to cover some of that spread. And I gotta go Chippewas to cover the 13.5. That's kind of where I'm going on that. San Jose State, to me now, we'll talk about Boise because I called that. Now that Boise has kind of proven that either South Florida is really, really good, like I was kind of thinking, or Boise State really just isn't that good. It's kind of scary. San Jose State is a plus 700 to win the conference. Now, San Jose State is a team that, again, no Nick Nash, who was one of the best receivers in college football last year. They have something to prove. And now that UNLV is kind of looking suspect on the defensive side, Boise State did not look like the normal Boise State that we're used to seeing. Is this the year for San Jose State to kind of sneak in there and maybe capture this conference? It would be crazy. But if it happens, I'm saying it here first that it might happen just because I'm looking in the future of what I saw just this past week. And we'll see what UNLV does tomorrow. Who knows? They might struggle all year because the defense is so bad. We don't know. Yeah, man. I mean, you got to keep an eye on San Jose State. Plus 700 to win the conference. I think the line's going to move here after the Boise State loss, but that's what they were as of yesterday. And let's dig into that Boise State game, man. So Boise State, I watched pretty much the whole game today because I had a little recruiting going on for the pod and everything. Final score just getting absolutely obliterated. They got manhandled in almost every aspect of the game today. The whole thing with Ashton Genty. No Ashton Genty. He was the entire team last year. I mean, we're talking 12 games, 13 games, and he was the guy who literally led them to win 10 of those 13 or 11 of those 13. You're seeing today that not having him is a big problem. They still have an okay rushing attack. They had some good little flashes of being able to run the football. They have a split backfield going with Sire Gaines. He was the leading rusher today, but he only ran for like 48 yards. And then you have Malik Sherrod, who was split in the backfield with him, and they were pretty even on carries today, but nothing impressive. I mean, 58 yards against a South Florida team, which, again, a lot of transfers. The transfer portal is changing everything. So you're getting to the point now where you got guys coming in these smaller schools that are 3, 4, maybe an occasional 5-star. They're piecing things together. They're clicking, and it's ball game for everybody. Now all of a sudden these guys are getting put on the map. The teams are looking a lot better. I mean, it's hard, man. I mean, I took them to win their conference. I took South Florida to win the American. Would I do it again? Absolutely. After what I saw today. Are you kidding me? Bynum Brown was tremendous today. He, as a quarterback, you're not usually seeing guys that are looking for contact. He was literally looking for contact. Like, he's running, scrambling, looking for a guy to run over. He wanted all of it. And you could tell, missing those 8 games last year with the leg injury, he was looking to capitalize and come back and come out with a bang, and that's exactly what he did. He lit it up today, man, and South Florida was flying around, creating turnovers, causing havoc. And the defense, honestly, the first half was like a bend, don't break. They got some lucky bounces. They got some things to go their way, creating turnovers, which is awesome. But I really do think that that's going to be the team to reckon with. After what I saw today, it's hard to think to myself, with Matson from Boise State, the quarterback, he obviously is not going to be able to do it himself. There's nothing that jumped off the page to me today from Boise State on the receiving side of things. The wide receivers looked slow. No one was really getting open, and he was struggling to find some space and put the ball in there. You could tell, man, South Florida, they're flying around. And I don't know if it's just the first game. We're playing a top 25, the ranked 25 in the nation. We're up for it. Playing at like a neutral site. It's not necessarily our actually, no, they actually play at Tampa. Yeah. So a home game for them, a lot of hype, and you could tell they really wanted. They wanted a lot more than Boise State did. No Genty really hurts them. Boise State might struggle big time this year if they continue what they did today. South Florida, man, I'm loving the pick. I'm loving the pick to take the conference that I called a couple weeks ago. I'm loving it. So, again, nothing jumps out of the page to me from Boise State. I didn't see a single guy today that I was like, yes, like that's their dude. This is the guy we got to watch. I mean, Sire Gaines is going to be, I think, the better of the two running backs. They had a 5-star transfer from A&M at receiver with Marshall, and he had 3 or 4 catches today. He was really non-apparent in this ball game, which is crazy. That's the type of guy coming in to a smaller school that really needs to light up the scoreboard and capitalize on the opportunity of going to a smaller school and having a chance like this to play. And he's put on the limelight, and we didn't see him. I think he did score a touchdown. He scored the only touchdown for Boise State today, but he only had like 4 catches. Wasn't a great day for him. So, yeah, man, I love the South Florida pick. I'll repeat that till I'm dead because I got lucky and took them. So anyway, that actually was one of my locks of the week from the previous week. I don't know if anybody heard. I went 4 for 5 on the previous week with the picks. We took Hawaii minus 2.5 against Stanford. They came back and won a game-winning field goal 23-20. With fantastic. The only one I missed on was Fresno State to cover against Kansas. Fresno State got absolutely mollywopped, 31-7. Did not cover the 14.5, which is good for Oregon State because they play them next week. But yeah, every other pick was great. Did great. The UNLV game, I didn't take the spread. I took the over/under on 60.5, which that hit over. Took the Western Kentucky and the Sam Houston State game to go over 63.5, and that hit over. So the locks were good last week. I'm hoping to keep this up. We got some more locks for this week. We're going to get to those. I want to bring up one of the ones that I really, really like this week, which is actually tomorrow. Neutral site game, Charlotte versus App State, G5 game. App State traditionally is the better program of the two, but they were 5-6 last year. They really struggled compared to previous years. It should be a tight one. Charlotte was 5-7 last year in the American, but I do think App State, being the traditional program, I think as a name they should bring in some better guys. Should have a better front, I think, than Charlotte's going to have, and I do like App State. -6.5, which was the original line, but it has moved. Now it is a -4.5. Please give me that. I love that. So if you can get a -4.5 for App State, I think that's a great lock this week. A neutral site, playing at Bank of America in Carolina, the Panther Stadium. So neutral site, I really do like that. I'm trying to check some stores while we're doing this so I can give a live update on what's going on. Another one that I want to touch on here, team to keep an eye out. I'm not saying they're going to be jumping off the page at you, but New Mexico. New Mexico's got a really tough first game. They're going to play Michigan at the Big House in the blue. And Jason Eck, incredibly successful at Idaho previously, so we'll see if he can replicate that now to New Mexico. Huge game against Michigan. Super tough. Michigan, a huge favorite. -34.5. Massive number. Michigan starting a true freshman, Bryce Underwood, who's considered one of the highest recruited quarterbacks in the country. He's going to get his first start. It's going to be interesting to see how he does if they let him kind of sling it out a little bit because they're not playing a huge name program, or if they want to get his feet wet, maybe run a lot because he is a runner. He can run. It would be interesting to see what they do with that. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. I think Michigan's just going to try to out-physical and bowl him around. It's going to be a lot of running. Bryce Underwood's going to run the rock a lot too. So I see them eating a lot of clock and chewing it. I don't know if New Mexico's going to be able to move the ball in the Michigan defense much, which could play a factor in that -34.5. But I think they're going to run out of time. I think the amount of time is not going to be enough in this game for them to win by 35 points. So this is not a lock. This is just something that I saw. And I'll root for the blue, man. I do like Michigan. But I got to go with the New Mexico to cover that 34.5. I think, hopefully they lose by 33. That's what I'm hoping for. And then we got Saturday, another huge one, which is a G5 team going in playing an SEC school, Toledo at Kentucky. This, I think, is probably the most talked about game of the weekend by almost everybody I've been talking to. My friend Liam's huge on this one this week. He is all about taking Toledo to cover this, and it was a +10. I think it's now at a 9.5. He's taking Toledo all day long to cover that against Kentucky. A lot riding on Toledo. They got some dudes, and they're looking to win a conference this year. I'm sketched to take it just because it is an SEC school and it is at Kentucky. It's been a long time since it seemed like Toledo's really came in and done something like that and upset a team. I know Kentucky's not ranked and they're not high on the totem pole of SEC or nothing like that this year, or supposed to be. But I know a lot of guys are really riding with that one and really looking at that. So there is one. Now, official locks of the week. I'm going to do this here. This is my show me the money aspect here. I know it says 3 locks of the week. We're going to do a little more than 3. We're going to probably do like 4 or 5. I've given a couple sprinkles and some suggestions in there already. I'm going to start out with a banger here. Baylor. So I think the spread is still 2.5. I like Baylor straight up, man. Give me Baylor for the money line. Baylor, Sawyer Robinson's going to come out. He's going to be slinging it. Auburn, I think, is overhyped. And with all the talk going around and the speculation going on with Auburn right now, and Baylor's at home, this is Baylor's year. They should have won the Big 12 last year. They had 2 plays from winning the Big 12. I got Baylor in this one. I don't know how they're a dog, 2.5 to Auburn. They're trying to go with the SEC bias, whatever. I'm taking Baylor. Give me Baylor straight up in the money line on that. Again, I'm looking at it. Everybody's liking the Toledo pick, man. I like the 10. I like the 10 or the 10.5, but even the 9.5 is a little scary. I'm going to kind of stay away from that one. I'm just mentioning that because it's been brought to my attention by so many people. I'm going to stay away from that one. The other one I really, really like is Kennesaw State is a horrible football team. Let's just get that straight right now. I love Wake. Wake is going to be a favorite by minus 17.5 is the line right now. I would love it, man. I would love to see Wake absolutely dominate and have that spread covered by halftime. I think with a Wake Forest team that Oregon State is playing this year, I'm kind of riding with them. Want to see what they can do. I got a good buddy of mine that actually plays for Wake, Sawyer Racanelli, playing tight end receiver for them. So 18.5, I like that as a lock this week. The other one I really, really like is Texas straight up. Give me the Longhorns straight up. I don't usually do this, but for the sake of the parlay, we're going this weekend. I cannot be rooting for Ohio State, nor do I believe in a true freshman getting the start and winning. Yeah, man, I gotta go with the Longhorns. Give me the Longhorns for whatever the points are, whatever they come down to. Just give me them straight up. Give me the Longhorns straight up on a money line. Arch Manning has had some experience. He's got his feet wet already. This is going to be the year that he has to perform. First game of the year, better start with a bang. So yeah, give me the Longhorns there against Ohio State. The big one. I'm going to rep my team. We're going to support it here. The fact that Oregon State is only a minus 1.5 against Cal is so disrespectful. I brought this up in the first podcast. Oregon State, for all you bettors out there, have covered the spread at home since 2016, 86% of the time. One of the best teams in the nation at home against the spread. I'm telling you right now, there is no way, and it's going to go one or two ways. Oregon State is going to be ferociously bad this year and a miserable football team if we lose to Cal. But to me, and I know I was doing some digging, talking to some people. Cal does have the transfer from Oregon, a kid who was the Hawaiian State Player of the Year last year, 6'3", 220. He's a big boy, and he can move. Left-handed kid, but it's his first college start. He's got to go to Reeser. Reeser's going to be rocking. People are energetic and very supportive of what the program's going to be like this year. Now we have Malik Murphy and some returning guys, some key pieces. I think people are pretty optimistic about what the Beavs can do. Like I said, I think it's disrespectful. You're going to give the Beavs minus 1.5. Give me the spread. Give me the Beavs money line, whatever you want to do. Beavs are winning this game this weekend. The big question is, I think Cal's just got this quarterback. I think he's going to be the best player on the team. I don't know what else they have. They don't have Jalen Ott anymore. They lost starting quarterback from last year. This kid committed to Oregon. So if that tells you anything, I mean, obviously he's good. He's had some other big-time offers. He went to Oregon. Dante Moore transferred. They got some other guys behind him that were 4- and 5-star kids. He was like, you know what? I got to get out of here and want to go play somewhere else. I want to go start. Cal offered him. Boom, there he is. So obviously the kid is good. He set the Hawaiian State record for passing yards all time. I mean, if you're doing that over guys like Mariota and some of the guys that have come out of there and Tua, obviously the kid's good. So it'll be interesting because no one's seen him. He's not proven. He's going to have to get his feet wet just like everybody else and play. Not the biggest stadium in the world, not the loudest in the world, but a pretty ruckus crowd at Oregon State down in Corvallis. So it'll be an interesting one. But again, I'm hammering the Beavs, man. If the Beavs win big time this week, they got Fresno State next week following. To me, Fresno State, obviously, they struggled big time. They didn't look very good. EJ Warner did his thing by throwing 2 picks, which is kind of what we've been calling all year with his interception problem that he's had in his past 3 years at Temple and Rice. Yeah, man, I do like the Beavs to start this year 2-0. Give me the spread of whatever's being laid down for these 2 weeks. Let's focus on this week first, I guess. But yeah, y'all got to ride with me on this one. Cal, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy W, but I'm saying if we're going to be a good football team, we really got to establish ourselves. And this is the week where you make a statement against a former Pac-12 opponent, and you come out and you got to hang 30 on them and you got to stuff them. I think, like I said, it's going to go one of two ways. We're going to win this week, and it's going to be like a 34-17 type game is kind of what I'm picturing. Or like a 34-21, 34-20, something like that. I think we might give up some points because it's first week on defense, but we have a lot of returners on defense. So you hope that they've made some adjustments, have gotten better in the offseason. You just don't really know is the thing. So, yeah, I'm picturing like a 34-17, 34-20 Beavs win. The way we're going to lose is it's going to be an absolute track meet. It's going to be crazy. And we lose like a 37-34 or 42-40, 42-39 type game. So, yeah, we'll lose in a track meet if that's how it's going to go down. Otherwise, I think Beavs should handle this game pretty well and kind of make a name for ourselves so we can go win this one. Let's go beat Fresno State next week, start 2-0, and then we got Texas Tech and Oregon, and you got two real opponents, and you're really going to see what you're like. So, yeah, man. So, locks of the week, Baylor, money line over Auburn. Baylor's at home. We love that. We got Wake Forest minus 17.5 at home against Kennesaw State. And we got Texas over Ohio State straight up money line. We love those picks right there. And Beavs minus 1.5 or straight up money line over Cal. There's the locks of the week. Guys, I don't want to go too much in depth on the games today. Let you watch for yourselves, but there's just been some crazy ones, man. I mean, Miami, Ohio's competing right now with Wisconsin. We've had some other teams, like obviously South Florida, my pick to win their conference. They came out and just absolutely obliterated Boise State today. I couldn't ask for more out of that game. That's exactly what I wanted. Didn't think it was going to go that way. Right now, live in the fourth quarter, Jackson State is beating UCF 10-3 at UCF. 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So tune in that one. There's an interesting one. Nebraska Cincy, obviously in the third quarter, Nebraska up 13-10. So another good one there. And you got Miami, Ohio. They're trying to hang in there, man. They're stuffing Wisconsin 10-0. Wisconsin has the lead going in the fourth quarter. Ohio came back down double digits and actually made it a game today. So there's a G5 team who competed with a Big Ten Rutgers team who I know it's Rutgers, but still they ended up losing 34-31. NC State, East Carolina was a great game. I know Savannah was probably out there watching that for sure. But glad NC State got the win there. And then, I mean, all the other ones looking like they were kind of handled. Wyoming only won 10-0 against Akron, so that's pretty interesting for the Mountain West. Wyoming obviously not too great on the offensive side. The one that kind of concerned me today was Minnesota was only up 13-10 on Buffalo at one point. So maybe Buffalo's okay. Maybe Buffalo's a decent team we need to watch out for. So this is great, man. I mean, this week one coming in on a Thursday, games tomorrow on a Friday, and then Saturday, and some games on Sunday. It's going to be great. Oh, the other one, that's what I can't forget. The game on Sunday. I can't forget that one. I'm taking Notre Dame straight up over Miami, straight money line. Love that pick. Carson Beck, all my family that are Dogs fans, I'm helping you out here and giving you some props on how bad Carson Beck is. He's going to struggle. They don't have Arroyo. They don't have their best receivers. I'm telling you right now, Notre Dame is going to run all over them. They're going to out-physical these guys. I'm taking the Irish. I don't do that very often, but I'm taking the Irish this week. They got to come out with a bang too. So give me the Irish straight money line. Yeah, I mean, this is just great. College football being back. You can't ask for anything better, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I just want to make this about a 30-minute episode today. Nice little quick one. Get you guys ready for the weekend. Get you kicked off. College football is back, baby. So let's make it happen. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm the host of the Hurt Locker, Logan Hertner. Thank you all. Have a good night. Go Beavs.